Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to our Shirin Tzvasamas Parshas Kisavai Tavshin Pei Hey. We find that when the Mevi Bikurim is bringing his Bikurim and saying the psukim necessary to say as he brings the Bikurim, one of the things he says is V'loi shechachti, that I have not forgotten. Says Rashi, what does it mean that he's not forgotten? V'loi shechachti melavarich ala frashas maisrus. I have not forgotten to go ahead and make the bracha over the Afrashas Maisis as necessary. Ask the Heligas Svasamas and the name of the Chedush Rim, Schus Yagad Aleinu, and Tafresh Nun Tes, and in multiple other places in Svas Emes. Where do we find any connection between Shicha and the idea of making a bracha? The pasuk says V'loi shechachti, that I have not forgotten. How does Rashi know? How does Chazal know that V'loi shechachti, I have not forgotten, means that I have not forsaken the bracha that's necessary to make prior to being mafresh maisrus? What's the connection bechlal between shicha, between forgetting and making a bracha? Zakta elikas vasamas ki ikr kiyam hamitzvos. The main way to do a mitzvah is not just to go ahead and to do the mitzvah, mitzvahs anashim elamadam, to just do it in a way by do it in robotic fashion without going ahead and doing it with islavas. The main way to do a mitzvah is when a person is filled with simcha and ahava. A person is filled with passion when he's doing the mitzvah. A person's excited about doing the mitzvah. A person's joyous over doing the mitzvah. That is the ikr way that a person is supposed to doing a mitzvah. But says this Vasamis, it's not enough just at the time of the mitzvah to be excited about doing the mitzvah, because that's going to be difficult to bring up the feelings just at the moment of doing the mitzvah that I'm excited about doing the mitzvah. Rather, says this Vasemes, the more a person is desiring throughout the day to go ahead and do the mitzvah, the easier it will be for him to be able to do the mitzvah in a way which is proper. When a person doesn't just fall into the mitzvah, a person goes in and prepares himself properly for the mitzvah, a person is longing and yearning and waiting to do the mitzvah, that itself allows a person that when they come to actually perform the mitzvah, they do it in a way of simcha and ahava. A simple example, a person's going ahead and going to hear the mitzvah of Tekiyah Shofar, the Shemaya Kol Shofar, to hear the Shofar in Rosh Hashanah. Says this Vasemes, it's not enough just to hear the Shofar with a level of simcha, like the Gra very famously brought down. The Gra felt tremendous simcha during Tekiyah Shofar. It's not enough. A person has to go out and be mishtoikik, yearn, to be able to be makayim the mitzvahs aseda eraisa of hearing the shofar in the days preceding Rosh Hashanah. And the more that a person goes out and is mishtoikik, the more that a person is yearning to be makayim the mitzvah, the more when the mitzvah comes to his hand, a person will be able to be makayim it in a way of simcha and ahava. And it's like this with every single mitzvah. There's a achana for the mitzvah, there's a preparation for the mitzvah, which is not only the practical preparation that's necessary, you have to go ahead and buy the material necessary to be able to be makayim the mitzvah, but it means the internal achana, the internal excitement, the internal anticipation that a person has to be able to go ahead and be makayim the mitzvah. The more that a person is mishtaikik, the more that a person is yearning to be makayim the mitzvah, says this Vas Emes, Kach yochel la'asoisam be'emes, then he'll be able to do it in a way which is proper. Says this Vas Emes, this is what the bracha is prior to doing a mitzvah. L'chein makdimin bracha ala mitzvah. And every bracha, every mitzvah that we do that contains within it a bracha, the bracha is there not just simply to go ahead and to remind ourselves what we're doing, but the bracha is there to show our excitement, to show that we're preparing ourselves, to show that we want and are excited to go ahead and asher kadishanu b'mitzvayse v'tzivanu. The Moshe was makadish every single one of us v'tzivanu lases to do whatever mitzvah we're going to do. Laharis achavivas, to show the chavivas, to show the love and excitement that we have, and therefore even prior to going ahead and doing the mitzvah, there's a hachana for the mitzvah. The hachana for the mitzvah, says this Vasam, is the yishtoikikos leading up to it, and the way that that comes out practically is through the bracha. And therefore, according to that Sfas Emes, every time a person is going to go ahead and do a mitzvah, obviously, there should be a preparation externally and a preparation internally for the mitzvah, an excitement and a longing and anticipation to go out and be makayim the mitzvah. And ultimately, when a person is going ahead and making that bracha prior to doing the mitzvah, this is the feeling that a person is supposed to have. I'm excited. And the way that I'm going to go ahead and express my excitement is through the bracha that I'm going to make, thanking the Rabbanu Shalom for giving me the opportunity to be able to go ahead and be able to be makayim the mitzvah. Asher kedishanu b'mitzvayse v'tzivanu. Hashem has makadosh us with the mitzvahs that He commanded us. And therefore, I show my excitement and I express my desire to do the mitzvah by going ahead and making the bracha prior to the mitzvah. U'b'zeh bracha ba'mitzvah. Says this Vasemes, this is what the bracha is, but v'nishar aris mitzvah ba'adam kol hayom. Says this Vasemes, this is not just the anticipation leading up to the mitzvah. When a person does the mitzvah properly, then the mitzvah remains with the person the whole day. The Sfas Emes brings down the Gemara in Shabbos Daf Kuf Lamed, which says that the mitzvah that Klal Yisrael was makabel aleim b'simcha, adayin oisim b'simcha. Keinu b'chol prat. Says the Sfas Emes, this doesn't just mean the mitzvahs, like the Gemara over there was discussing mitzvahs milah, and the mitzvahs that Klal Yisrael is makabel on a general basis, they were able to be makabel at b'simcha. But says the Sfas Emes, every mitzvah that you do, if you're makayim this individual mitzvah, if you're excited about the next davening that you're going to daven, the next opportunity you have to be able to go ahead and be meshebech to Rabbanu Shalom. If you're excited about the next mitzvah that you're going to do, not only are you going to be able to do the mitzvah ba'emes, but that reshima, that imprint from the mitzvah is going to last with the person the whole day. Why? Because the person is being makabel to do that mitzvah, to do it in a way b'simcha. K'sha'isar mitzvah b'simcha, nisher koyach ha-mitzvah ba'odam la'olam. The koyach of the mitzvah is there with a person forever. And therefore, according to the Sfas Emes, there's three things that take place every time a person does a mitzvah. There's the anticipation, there's the preparation, the achana, which ultimately culminates with the bracha that a person makes prior to going ahead and doing the mitzvah. But it's the excitement, it's the longing, it's the yearning that a person has prior to doing the mitzvah. The excitement that a person feels the night before he's going to go ahead and shake lulav and esrog. The night before he's going to go ahead and sit in the sukkah. The night before he's going to hear tekiyah shofar. The night before he's going to daven a shachris and put on tefillin. Whatever mitzvah a person has in front of him, the excitement that a person has prior to doing the mitzvah, that then leads a person to go ahead and to do the mitzvah b'simcha, and to do the mitzvah b'ahava, to do the mitzvah with chavivas ha-mitzvahs, and zaktis Sfas Emes, when you do it that way, then it's be'emes. Sfas Emes, tikkun la'ad, then anything that has emes to it remains forever. And because I'm a kabbalah with b'simcha, memela, it's going to last not just at the time that I'm doing the mitzvah, but the mitzvah has the ability to be matzah and to be megan the whole day. It has the ability to stick with me, and not just the whole day, like the Sfas Emes says, nishra kaycha mitzvah ba'odam la'ilam. When the mitzvah is done with joy, when there's anticipation for the mitzvah, which allows me to do the mitzvah with joy, then the mitzvah is able to stay the whole day. Says the Sfas Emes, now it's obvious, and how we're able to understand what the connection is between lo shechachti and melavarich ala frashas maises. Zakt Sfas Emes, v'zeh lo shechachti, she'ein la'odam l'shkoyach la'olam chavivas ha-mitzvahs. Lo shechachti doesn't just mean the bracha itself. Lo shechachti means, what is the bracha coming from? The bracha, as the Sfas Emes teaches us, comes from the excitement and the longing and the yearning that a person has to do the mitzvah. And therefore, lo shechachti means that I didn't forget about the mitzvah prior to being mekayim the mitzvah. I was thinking and I was yearning and I was talking and being excited about the mitzvah prior to doing the mitzvah. V'zeh lo shechachti, I didn't forget koidem. Maisa mitzvah, I didn't forget about the Maisa mitzvah before, and I didn't either forget about it after, because the reshima, the imprint of that mitzvah that I did, remained with me the whole day. And therefore Chazal understood that shechachti is not just forgetting to go ahead and take off maisris. Shechachti means, did you forget about maisris prior to taking them off? And did you forget about them after you took them off? Was it just something that happened in one moment in time? Or was this something that your day revolved around? They're able to say, my day is looking forward to davening mincha. And after I daven mincha, the reshima, the imprint of mincha stays with me for the rest of my life. Is it something that's just here in a vacuum, or is it something which there's an anticipation, there's an excitement, there's the longing to be makayim the mitzvah prior, which culminates, like we said, in the bracha, and therefore it ends up lasting forever. And therefore, shechachti, Chazal understood, means that I didn't forget to make the bracha, not just the physical bracha, not just the words of the bracha, but I didn't forget about going ahead and being excited about the mitzvah that I'm doing prior to it. And therefore that allowed me to not forget about it before doing the mitzvah, and it also led to me remembering about the mitzvahs even long after I already finished completing the physical act of the mitzvah. This is how the Sfas Emes and Tafresh Nun Tes teaches us how a person is supposed to do every mitzvah. Excitement, anticipation, longing, and yearning. Kisufim and gaguin to do the mitzvah, culminating in the bracha before the mitzvah, and then ultimately allowing the light of the mitzvah to be able to last with me forever, because it's something that is makabel b'simcha, something that I did b'simcha, something that I did be'emes, and therefore it's able to last forever. And lo shechachti, the mitzvahs that I've done remain with me forever, because I'm excited prior, I'm excited when I'm doing them, and therefore the excitement and the joy that I had when I did the mitzvah lasts with me forever. Hashem should help us, we should be zeiche to be able to be makayim mitzvahs properly, in the proper way, shechachti, not to forget about the mitzvahs, and to be thinking about them and preparing for them and getting excited for the Yom Tovim, Abba Leinu LaTova, to get excited for Rosh Hashanah, for the mitzvah of Vidyon Yom Kippur, for the mitzvah of Sukkah, of Dalad Minim, mitzvah of eating and sleeping in the Sukkah, to get excited for these mitzvahs. We're able to do that, and we're able to make the bracha of Leisha b'Sukkah, the bracha of the Shmoya Kol Shofar, the brachas that we're able to make on these Yom Tovim, to be able to make them properly, and therefore be able to take these Yom Tovim, be able to take these mitzvahs that we do with us forever. Have a great Shabbos.